So we thought we would do a quick walkthrough of our Precision 18. Complicated story behind this boat. Be difficult to make any sense of. So once upon a time in my old life, this boat was mine. And then it became not mine. A lot of things in my life happened that way. And that's all very difficult to explain. So I'm not going to make any attempt to do so. But now this boat is my neighbor's boat, and he lets us use it whenever he wants to. And he's done a couple of things to it, and we've done a couple of things to this boat, and so this has been a joint effort to finally tune this piece of machinery to what you see before you today. So let's go ahead and take a walk around and look at some of the things we've done to make it into a better, like, long-distance camp cruiser. So one of the first things I did when I got the boat was rebuild the tiller. The tiller that comes stock from Precision is just straight, and it hits you in the knees about right here when you're trying to sail, and that's completely unacceptable. So I built this tiller that has a nice rise to it, you can see. And you can rest your hand and you can clear your knees. So that's really nice. Huge upgrade there. Next thing I done was put a autopilot on there. And autopilot is an essential for sailing, day sailing, long distance sailing, whatever. Absolute necessity. And now an autopilot mount, they have all kinds of different mounts you can mount your autopilot with. But this was the cheapest and most durable and most like less intrusive, or the least intrusive bracket that I could come up with, because I didn't want to drill any holes in the boat. Anyways, it's just really like a 1x2 with a nice hole in it that I lashed on with some nylon lashing. It is a piece of locust, and so that's a really, really hard wood. It's like the North American version of teak or something. Anyways, so an autopilot and any sort of GPS or anything won't do you any good unless you have a battery bank to drive it with. So we have 2 batteries on board. I only had 1 battery on board, but my neighbor, he put another battery on board, which was a great idea. And then he also put this solar panel on the boat. Let's take a closer look at this. Yeah, so my neighbor put this solar panel on here, which was a big upgrade. And we talked about it, like where to put it, and he brainstormed this idea up, which was really good because the swim ladder is over here, so you don't want it blocking the swim ladder. And so he put it over here and he raised it up good so it's in the sun real good and it clears the outboard motor. So this was a big upgrade, and this keeps you can run your autopilot 24 hours a day, you can have your running lights on, you can charge your phone, you can listen to music, cabin lights, whatever. It keeps up with all of our needs, like, without any problem at all. So yeah, this was a big upgrade. So the Precision 18 is a nice little boat in general, like how they come with no upgrades at all, but just a stock boat is still a really nice boat. It has these lifelines on it that are nice for 1,000 reasons. Nice little stern rail and also bow rail. There's a lot of features about the Precision that's really good. But an essential piece of equipment on any sailboat is an anchor locker. If the boat doesn't have an anchor locker, you don't even want the boat, because hauling an anchor up and dragging it back and sticking it down below or putting it in the cockpit is absolutely ridiculous. So the Precision 18 itself comes with an anchor locker, which is a really, really nice feature. So an anchor locker on a sailboat is an absolute essential piece of equipment. It makes it really, really easy to haul the anchor up, throw it down here in the locker, and then shut the hatch and latch it, and you're just ready to go immediately. If you don't have that, it just creates so many problems. So yeah, really nice selling feature for the Precision 18. So when we first bought the boat, another thing we've done is we put this whisker pole on here. Whisker pole is a really essential piece of equipment. It's also known as a downwind pole. When you're going downwind on a short leg, or especially a nice long downwind leg, you need your downwind pole to hold the jib out. And you also need a good place to store it, and storing it right here on the mast makes a really good place to put it. Otherwise, you have to put it down below, and it's a big, awkward piece of equipment, always in the way, or somewhere on the deck, again, always in the way. So putting it up here on the mast is a good place to put it. Now you'll see in some of our past videos, when we first had it mounted here, I had a little piece of nylon going from one spreader to the other, which was a really, I don't know, quick and dirty attempt at making a top bracket for that thing. and that ultimately failed. But recently we were anchored out on some beach somewhere, and I found this really nice piece of like 1/4-inch stainless steel wire, which was, I don't know, really nice to find. And then I made a new bracket up there, and so we have that nice stainless bracket up there at the top to hold it, and it comes on and off really easy. So you just put it down like this, bang, you're holding your jib out when you're going downwind, and then when you're done, you just you clip it back on, and it's right out of the way. You're not going to be stumbling over it. Anyways, let's take a look down below. So when you are setting up your boat for sailing, you kind of have to have it the train of thought in your mind that you need to have everything really, really tied down so good that if the boat rolls completely over, nothing's going to fall out of place. And that's a really extreme thought. But if you have little knickknacks and everything just sitting on shelves, before you go sailing, you might as well take everything and throw it right in the floor, because that's where it's going to end up. And so you have to have everything really, really lashed down and put away really tight, or it's just going to be a mess. You've heard the term ship shape. Everyone knows that term. And when you're out sailing, if you end up in a situation, it's hard enough to deal with the situation. But it's much harder to deal with the situation if your boat is absolutely trashed and you have a bunch of like useless junk rolling around the floor that you're stumbling on and falling and hurting yourself. So having everything put away really tidy and really securely is an essential piece of information. So that's kind of how we have things set up down here, and we'll go through some of the things and show you what we've done to be efficient in that train of thought. Another thing that we've done way early in the game here to make the boat more efficient is I made these lee cloths. And you can see we have one on every available opportunity here. Now without these lee cloths, those little shelves are absolutely useless. You can't put nothing on them. So these lee cloths turn that into really, really usable storage in all of these locations. And that's where we put the bulk of everything that we have. And it also, you know, they're adjustable. You can tighten up these nylon lashings to depend, you know, for whatever sort of gear you have back there and whatever volume of it you have. And so when we're out sailing, we can handle a knockdown where the mast is parallel with the water and really nothing falls out. And so these things are really, really efficient. Any Precision 18 sailor should rush out quickly and make them some lee cloths, because it really improves the quality of your life. So looking back here, we have a quarter berth on either side, and they're a little bit tight for sleeping. You can sleep in them. And when you're out at sea, it's a nice place to sleep because you're wedged in there so tight. But we use them for storage is what we mostly use them for. And underneath the cockpit, there's a good little piece of storage under there where we put all of the heavy stuff like drinking water or canned goods, because we want to keep that weight down low so it can help stabilize the boat. Anyways, so the Precision also comes with a cooler right here that makes the step to get down in the cabin, and that step is also the countertop for preparing food. And it's the cooler itself. And when we go sailing, we don't bring any ice with us because we need the dry storage, and ice isn't going to last any time anyway. So that's a very frivolous thought, ice. So we never bring that with us. Anyways, another thing we did right off the bat when we got the boat is when you're sailing, you need a place to be able to cook. You have to be able to cook safely when you're at anchor, and also when you are sailing in heavy weather. You have to be able to cook. So Precision does not have a stove, and so I've made this stove out of some scrap stuff that I had, some stainless steel, whatever, some pots and some whatever. And this is it's like a C-swing stove, and so it's gimbaled, and you can cook when you're in any sort of weather, and you can be heeled over past 45 degrees and still be able to cook. And we have this specialized pot I took, and I cut the handle off of it so it would lock down in here really tightly, and I made these springs down inside to hold the pot so it can't move around. And when you're at an extreme heel, there's no way you can spill or burn yourself or cause any like total disaster when you're cooking. So this nice little C-swing stove is a crucial piece of equipment, and if it's in your way and you're trying to get in there, it lifts off of this bracket here, and you can well, it comes apart in multiple pieces here, and you can store it really easy just to get it out of the way. And then when you're setting it back up, it sets up really quickly, and then you're right back up in cooking. So a nice little C-swing stove is Also, an essential piece of equipment. So all you precision sailors, you should rush out quickly and build you a nice little stove, because it really improves the quality of your life. So that was a quick walkthrough of a Precision 18 sailboat and a look at some of the things we've done to make it a little more efficient. So we hope you guys enjoyed watching, and we'll see you next time.